there's any number of variations. So here, now I'm going to do fingertip. When I'm doing this, I'm making sure my toes, starting off with a simple flip under the leg, opposing shoulder, and curtsy lunge. Drop it, flip, under the leg, opposing shoulder. So for today's workout, I started off with 10 to 15 minutes, I forget how much exactly, on the manual treadmill. Walk backwards to get my knees and quads warmed up. I've started doing it ever since I came across knees over toes guys method, and ever since I've started following his stuff. I've always tried to start my workouts with a little bit of backwards walking and also doing a lot of sled. But today I plan on focusing a lot on the sled and the kettlebell and supersetting sled movements with a kettlebell movement and throw in some juggling in there as well. At home, I have a 25-pound or 12-kilo kettlebell, and here I have access to a 60-pound one. And so when I do have access to it, I'm going to try juggling a heavy weight so that when I do go back home and start doing the 12 kilo again, it'll probably be a lot easier. And also some of the kettlebell jugglers that I have been following, their experience has been the same. Anyway, that's enough ranting about that. Let's get to the first movement. So the first movement is I'm going to do a backwards run with the sled. So a little bit more explosive than just dragging it backwards. Actually trying to run with it. And then once I reach one side, I'm switching sides and also switching directions. So I'm moving forward and I'm going to run forward. Generating had a hard time getting the belt off, but yeah, generating explosive power. And then with the kettlebell, doing 5 alternate swings, but with a flip in the middle. So starting off, all right, let's do that again. There you go. I hope they don't get mad at me for dropping these, but it is what it is. But yeah, that's what I'm doing for now. Gonna do 5 sets of this. So for the next movement, doing a lateral sled or sideways sled. So while moving backwards and forwards, you're getting a lot of like quads, hamstrings and stuff like that. But your body's also capable of moving like sideways. And so it's good to train the muscles that are responsible to move your body sideways. And especially when you can move this much weight on a sled, especially sideways, then just real life sideways movements become that much easier. And the likelihood that you get injured doing a simple twist or a simple sideways motion is much less than if you weren't to train such muscles. Anyway, and then I'll superset that with a kettlebell movement. And I'll show you what that is in a second. With lateral sled, I'm holding the TRX with one hand, and then I'm going to like cross step. So one leg's going to be like this, and then the other leg is going to cross step. So looks like this. training the abductors of the right leg when moving to my left. If you have trouble remembering what abductors are and adductors are, abductors are the muscles responsible for taking your legs away. So abduct, taking someone away, or adductors, which is adding ADD, so bringing your legs together. I don't know. That was something my college professor taught me that stuck in my head as far as remembering those muscles, and it's helped me at least. Anyway, you should feel a really good contraction in the side glutes from doing this. Then, with the kettlebell, doing this complex with, I'll just show you what it is, with a curtsy lunge. So I'll show you what that looks like. So, starting off with a simple flip under the leg, opposing shoulder, and curtsy lunge. Drop it, flip under the leg, opposing shoulder, curtsy lunge. Flip, opposing shoulder. Curtsy. Going for 3 of the complex. Yeah, 3 reps of that complex is what I'm doing for now. If you notice, there's a general theme of, I guess, kind of power. I would say like throwing the weight around like that requires more of an explosion than of a controlled lift. So, like, I don't know, there's the push-up and then there's a clapping push-up. In a clapping push-up, you're using more explosive muscle fibers, versus in just a push-up, you're just contracting. Similarly, with just a regular weightlifting movement, you're usually just contracting the muscles. But with like throwing the kettlebells around, there's like explosive muscle fibers involved, and also you have to stay coordinated to perform the motion. So yeah, I'm a big fan of doing these kinds of things. Gets your heart rate going really high too. I'm gonna do another 2-3 sets of this. Alright, so for the next circuit, I'm gonna do bear crawls, superset, with a relatively simple kettlebell complex. So with the sled, I'm doing bear crawls. Forget if I mentioned that already. When you're tired, you forget what you've said. Anyway, so leaning against the belt to create some tension, and then going to pretty much crawl on the floor. You have the option of staying on your knuckles or using an open palm or your fingertips. Each of them will, I guess, train your hands in a slightly different way. And then crawling back. You also have the option of using the knuckles one way or open hand the other way. And there's any number of variations. So here, now I'm going to do fingertip. When I'm doing this, I'm making sure my toes are the first point of contact to the floor and pushing, driving through the toes, the calves, the hamstrings, the quads, all of it. It's a full leg movement. Then with the kettlebell, doing a swing squat to flip. Looks like this. So, swing squat, flip, swing squat, flip. Going for 3 each side. That's a superset for now. I don't know if I'll do any more sled movements. Might just move into some abs. But let's see what happens. So I've been flowing with the 28 kilo kettlebell for a while, 28 kilo, 62 pounds. And thought I'd get some of it on camera, although I can't listen to music, so that's gonna suck. But turns out that all the stuff that I've been doing in the backyard with the 12 kilo kind of translates to this one too. Like, I can't do all of the moves, like I'm scared to drop it in the gym, but I still feel pretty good just kind of tossing the kettlebell around. So yeah, just thought I'd record some of that before I did some abs. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I lose focus when I can't listen to music and then pick up the camera too much. They end up losing some abs. So for the first ab exercise, using these ankle straps, but you also have the option of using like the regular cable fly handles as long as they stay on your toes. It might be a little, it is going to be hard to kind of stabilize it for these movements, but it isn't impossible. Anyway, I invested in some ankle straps to help with that kind of stuff. For the first exercise, doing knees to chest unilaterally, trying to focus on the lower abs and hip flexors. At the bottom of the movement, I'm kind of like maneuvering my body such that I can feel a tug on the cable machine and slowly feel my hip flexor lower ab area loosen, and so that I can like slowly connect with my mind into those muscle groups. What I notice is kind of rocking side to side loosens that area, and then I can feel that tug specifically on the hip flexor and lower abs when I do that. And so once I get that mind to muscle connection, then I'm going to start bringing my knees to the chest. Going for 10 each side. Switching legs. It helps if you have 2 ankle straps instead of just one, so that you can have them on both legs, and then it makes switching easier. Same thing with the left leg. loosening it up so that I can feel that tug more clearly, and then contract. Really feeling a good contraction in the hip flexors and the lower abs, but also like I feel quite a bit on one side of the abs too, a little bit of oblique contraction. Anyway, that's the first ab exercise. Uh, I was gonna do that for 3 sets and then record the next one, but since it's already recording, I'll just show you what I have planned next and then do them in order when the camera is not recording. So, for the second ab exercise, similar starting position, but instead of bringing the knee to the chest, I'm gonna bring my legs straight up, twist my body to the side. So here, my obliques and hips are engaged, but they're still being tugged by the cable. And so now there's like an isometric going on. Then coming back straight and going down. I'm gonna do 5 of those. You have the option of keeping your left leg or the opposing leg straight or bent. It's going to be easier when it's bent, which seems to be the level at which I need to do it now since I'm feeling a little exhausted from all the other exercises. Also, in the middle of the set, if you notice over there, I took some time to shake my leg out and feel the contraction again. Sometimes in the middle of a set, it is possible to lose that mind muscle connection, and instead of forcing reps with bad mind muscle contraction, I instead choose to take some time and reset and feel, uh, try to regain the feeling before I jump back into the next rep. Switching legs after 5. Ugh. This exercise for sure is going to be hard to do with just the regular cable fly handles. So definitely consider investing in some ankle straps. It opens up some really cool exercises, some of which were, I think, in 2 or 3 videos ago. So I'll keep posting more of them as I come up with more exercises with the ankle straps. But yeah, these 2 ab exercises is what I'm doing for now before I head into the sauna. So I decided on doing one more ab exercise. So this has appeared in a previous video, but I haven't done it in a while. Most gyms with a workout studio that have classes in them have one of these bars and then these small weight plates that they use for these studio classes or whatever. And I've taken one of those and repurposed it by adding just weight on one side. This creates a sort of imbalance that then allows you to come up with some interesting exercises. So with this one, I'm gonna hold it kind of like uh, like a rowing paddle or whatever, and go for a sit up. So right away there's a unilateral offset of load. I'm going to extend to one side to exaggerate it, come back to the center, come up and press, come back down, exaggerate the tension, come back center, press. Gonna go for 5 each side. The offset of load when you extend it like that forces the core on the opposing side to stay activated to maintain balance or maintain stability in the core area. I think they're called anti-rotational muscles or whatever, or at least that's what I've heard people refer to them as. So pretty much they're muscles responsible for not only contracting and relaxing, but to hold stuff in place. And I don't know if it's the same muscles or different muscles or what, but regardless, your muscles have to do that. And one of the ways you can train them is by doing stuff like this. So here's it from this side. So you're coming all the way down, extending to exaggerate that offset. My microphone. Let's try. Don't do that. I was just trying to Don't do that. I was just trying to retrieve my microphone. But all right, let's get back to it. Let's hope the mic doesn't fall this time. Okay, so all the way down, extend to the side. I felt my hat coming off again. Anyway, in a world where there is no hat, I'd be doing it a little bit slower and holding the position so that I can exaggerate that feeling. Anyway, I'm gonna do this for a bit. My hat keeps wanting to fall off and I can't do it the way that I want to, but I hope this movement makes sense. So hope you guys enjoyed that workout. Subscribe to my channel for more of that stuff. I heard that YouTube has some new feature where if the creator says subscribe to my channel, click on the button below or something like that, the button lights up. So I don't know, it'll be interesting to see if the button does light up when I did say that. Anyway, the bus isn't coming for a while and I'm going to do some posing. So some people might find it weird that I'm posing because I don't know of too many functional people who are also like bodybuilding minded. They do want an aesthetic physique, but I don't know, it doesn't seem to be, I guess, on the forefront of what they're talking about. And maybe even I don't talk about it too much, but I guess my shtick kind of is building an aesthetic physique using, I guess, functional exercises so that it's like the best of both worlds where I can have an aesthetic physique and also be functional. Anyway, let's check out how I look today. Need to find the right spot. Sat in the sauna for 20 minutes, during which I took about one or two, I don't remember exactly, like one or two breaks of like 1 minute. Just stepping out of the sauna and letting my body cool for just a little bit before I step in. Legs are looking pretty sharp. Anyway, did a lot of like hip mobility stuff in the sauna. Ooh, that looks good. Looking thick. Some days that pose just looks so good. Cramp. Anyway, did a lot of hip mobility stuff in the sauna, and I just noticed that I'm cramping. So I'll probably go home and have some electrolytes to balance all that out. I noticed that having electrolytes makes a huge difference in how I feel. Anyway, let's check out this pose. Let's do some. How do you guys like that? Leave a comment if you have any questions about my workout or just in general. If you guys have any questions or would like certain videos about something else. And don't hesitate to see some of the older videos. I'm up to episode 116 or 117. I think it's 116. 117? I don't know, doesn't matter. In any case, there's over 100 of them, and there's a lot of interesting exercises in the older ones, which I don't mind repeating in future videos. And I do work out every day, so there's going to be a video every day too. Speaking of which, that's my goal. So I've been posting every day for 116 days now. I've been working out for each of those 116 days, and my goal is to get to episode 365, which means I would have worked out for 365 days, which is a year. Might do 366 because it's a leap year. But I started in November last year, but whatever it is, 366 episodes it is. And I don't know, I just got caught up in my abs. Anyway, so yeah, it'll be kind of cool to have a full recording of a year full of working out and see how things have changed. And one of the things that's definitely changed in in the way I look is I grew a beard, even if my physique looks the same, which I don't think it does. I think if we look at some of the earlier posing and some of the videos now, I think my abs have definitely gotten better. There's more striations all around, and I think I've also gotten stronger. I've also picked up kettlebell juggling, so it's just like, I don't know, it's like this huge story arc that I can kind of see. Anyway, let's finish with lat spread and then an ab pose, and then I'll head home. Hope that was good. Triceps, let's do some arms. Man, sometimes I don't know if it's me or the lighting, but I'm definitely liking the way I look in some of these poses. Alright, anyway, that's it for today's video. Like the video if you like the video, subscribe. New videos every morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Comment below if you have any questions. Subscribe to the channel if you like what you see. Not this, but just the video. But if you like this too, subscribe. But yeah. See you all tomorrow.